Doom has come to Craglorn. The stars have vanished from the sky. Will no one listen? Will no one help? I'm an initiate in the Order of Stargazers. We study the stars and their influence on Tamriel. Not long ago, we noticed irregularities in 3 of the star signs. Shortly thereafter, strange armies overran Craglorn. One of our order, Hara, is leading our efforts to stop these attacks. But we are not warriors. This cart will take you to Belkarth in Craglorn, where you can speak to her personally. Please, help us.
Speak quickly. I am very busy and our order is stretched to the breaking point. Of course, I'm sorry. You've come to help us and I'm being rude. Then I'll start from the beginning. A short while ago, the 3 guardian star signs, the warrior, the mage, and the thief, vanished from the night sky. I wish I knew. I've studied the stars my whole life. I've heard them speak. But now they're silent. It's eerie. All I know is when the Guardians disappeared, 3 powerful beings started attacking Craglorn. They call themselves the Celestials. I don't know. It's not a name I'd ever heard before. 2 of the Celestials identify themselves as the Warrior and the Mage. The 3rd, strangely, calls himself the Serpent, after the 13th constellation. The thief is nowhere to be found. The Stargazers consists of scholars who are no match for the current threat. We need champions to face the warrior, the mage, and the serpent, and, if possible, to find the thief. Join us. Be our strong arm, our sharp sword against the Celestials. Thank you. We have a lot of work to do. But first, you must become an official member of our order. Enter the Circle of Stars and accept our blessing. Stars above, let this new light do your will.
Accept them, O stars.
Let them always follow where you lead.
Oh, please aid them.
And bless them to restore those who have fallen from glory, our missing guardians.
Oh, please bless them.
We must talk. Do not be afraid. I am a friend. Forgive me. I did not know any other way to contact you without revealing myself. Even now, the Serpent's followers, the Scaled Court, are searching for me. I am the Celestial Thief. I appeared with the other Guardians when the Serpent broke free and manifested in Tamriel. One by one, the Serpent trapped the others. First the warrior, then the mage. He wants to do the same to me. Yes, they attacked Craglorn against their will. Listen, the Serpent's nature is chaos. He wants to undermine the very order of reality. He will not stop with Craglorn. My power alone is not enough. You must free the other Guardians. I will help you as much as I dare, but the Serpent is looking for me. If he ensnares me as he has the others, all is lost. Hara and the Stargazers will help you. Use their knowledge. Look for the presence of the Scaled Court. Where they are, the Serpent is surely at work. But you must not tell anyone you saw me. The Serpent's followers are everywhere. In a way, just as you might look at a picture of the star signs and say, that's the thief, or that's the warrior. Just so, I'm the thief, or one way of seeing the thief. Of the 12 rightful star signs, it's the Guardian's duty to protect the lesser signs, our charges, against the destructive ways of the Serpent. With the warrior and mage under the Serpent's control, their charges are vulnerable. So is Tamriel. It would be surprising if I didn't. The stargazers are only dimly aware of it, but they carry an ancient legacy as students of the star signs. Their devotion has not gone unnoticed. You have been accepted by the stars above. You are now one of us. The stars have accepted you. I just hope it is not too late. Volumes of prophecy have been written about the stars, but not even the oracles foresaw these events. Gather allies before you leave the city. You'll need loyal friends to face the armies of the warrior, the mage, and the serpent. Return to me each time you learn something new. I will use what you learn to devise a plan to defeat the Celestials. It appears that the serpent has gathered the bulk of his forces in the mountainous region to the north and sealed himself within. So much the better. That gives us a chance to learn what we can about this threat and plan a defense. Tradition holds that the warrior is one of the guardians who defends the other stars against the serpent. But the warrior celestial who has recently appeared is no friend. He commands a merciless army of ancient Yokudan warriors called the Ankara. All I know is they are ancient and dangerous. I've heard intriguing rumors from the Daggerfall Covenant outpost to the west of a champion who appeared about the same time as the Ankara. That may be a good place to start looking for answers. One of our number, Errol, has been examining old Nedic writings on the subject. He hopes to find insight into the Celestial's sudden appearance. Errol is smart, but he's not exactly battle-hardened. I'd be grateful if you'd help him. Tradition holds that the mage, the warrior, and the thief are the guardian star signs. But the magical events in the foothills of Craglorn, including an ever-growing army of Atronachs, suggest that the mage has fallen under the serpent's control. The Atronachs were originally summoned by a circle of conjurers from the city of Elenhir to defend Craglorn against the Dark Anchors, but it's clear they're answering to another master now. And, if anything, their numbers are growing. I'm at a loss. The conjurers who summoned the Atronachs have disappeared, but since the Atronachs were summoned to defeat the Dark Anchors, perhaps the Dolmens hold a clue. Strange things, difficult to describe. A large spell scar in the middle of the desert, and the appearance of two high elves in Belkarth, each claiming to be the mage herself. It's as if the mage tried to fight back against the serpent and lost. I wouldn't rule it out, but I haven't had time to look into their claims. You're free to investigate, but be wary of a trap. The serpent could simply be baiting us. Last I heard, the women were still at the Crossroads Tavern here in Belkarth.
Help! Please! Many lives are at stake. Please, you must help. There was a terrible accident. My colleague is in grave danger. My colleague, Kelman Locke. We're sorcerers. He leads my circle, or led. We sought to shatter a dark anchor at its base, to show the Fighters Guild we can do it more efficiently. So we traveled to the Proving Grounds Dolmen, but our plan went horribly awry. The Circle summoned Atronachs to destroy the Dark Anchor. Instead, they turned on the Circle. One of the Celestials must have caused it. I'm no conjurer. I wasn't next to the summoning when it happened. It's the only reason I escaped to seek help.
He fell right out of the sky, like a bare-arsed comet. You're here to laugh at me as well? I saw what I saw. He was naked as the full moons in a cloudless sky. Dragonstar Arena, where I lost everything? A sure win, they said. Only fools wouldn't bet, they said. Then that bare-arsed imbecile dropped out of nowhere and threw the match. Out of thin air shouting nonsense about defeating the Ankara. The guard took him to Bankarai Gate if you're headed that way. He's the indecent Imperial going on about celestial this and that. If you see him, tell him he owes me 1,000 gold.
Small. They're strong fighters. Almost as
The
strong
Celestial
as yours.
Mage. In peace. You were at the observatory earlier, weren't you? I thought I saw you talking to Hara. Are you going to visit the tavern? If so, watch out for 2 lunatic high elves. I don't know if they're dangerous, but you can never tell. The 2 high elves inside the tavern claim, quite loudly in fact, that they are aspects of the mage. The very celestial that fell from our starry skies. I took my drink and came out here. My companion, not so lucky. They're asking the stargazers to help them put the pieces back together or some such nonsense. Even offered to let me touch some strange relic to see the truth. But let me tell you, nothing good has ever come from touching strange relics. When the High Elves approach you, remember that I warned you. Those women have a strange way of spotting anything related to the stargazers. And guess what? If you're working with Hara, you're related to us now. They've been making a nuisance of themselves in Belkarth for the last few days. Claim they need to speak to Hara of the Stargazers immediately. Of course Hara hasn't been available, so they came here to wait. No, and that's why we're here. Hara wanted us to make sure they had legitimate business with the Stargazers before she sees them. But all I found out is that they're legitimately crazy. Still, I kind of want to believe them, you know. Well, for one thing, all of the pictures of the constellations portray the mage as a bearded old man. For another, shouldn't the Celestials look more, I don't know, intimidating? And this is why you should inform this Hara of yours immediately. It is urgent that we speak to her. Yes, we are wasting time repeating ourselves to a lackey.
I'm trying to understand what you just told me. There are other versions of you elsewhere in Craglorn?
As we explained, and with exceptional clarity, we are merely aspects of the one you call the Celestial Mage. Even as we stand here, the Serpent seeks to control us all. Even now he gathers our aspects to use as his own.
I miss
assembling
roasting
them into
people's
a
scribs
false
over
mage
fire.
who is entirely
Sweet
in his
and airy,
control.
with a hint of crunch.
Yes, of course. Whatever you say. I'll talk to Hara, but I can't make any promises. The constellations have disappeared from the sky, and we have other things to deal with right now. Good God, these high elves are mad.
The stars shine before him, pleading for help, and he's too busy looking at the empty sky to realize it. A drink, then, to ease our patience. You, mortal servant, deliver us your finest... what's the word? Ale?
Ale, but the brewer serves drinks in the other room.
Ah, you're here at last. Do not be confused. We foresaw your arrival. The one who has walked across the plains and faced down gods. Or do we speak of things still to come? Time is much more fluid among the stars. We are the one you call the Celestial Mage, or at least 2 aspects of a larger whole. The Serpent shattered us, weakened us. He plans to control us piece by piece, aspect by aspect. Hold still but a moment and we will show you. Witness the treachery of the Serpent. You won't win, Malazar. I am too strong for you.
You underestimate me, Vala. I have more tricks at my disposal than you could ever imagine. I have drawn you out of your apex stone and made you vulnerable. I know the power you wield. I am not fool enough to try to swallow you whole, but a piece at a time.
I will not let you do this. I will stop you.
Protest as you will, but I have already won.
Now you know what the serpent has done to us, how he split us into pieces. He intends to locate our weakened aspects and forge them into a being he can control, one poisoned by his corruption. You must find our aspects before the serpent does. Take this relic, the Seeker's Sight. It is a compass of sorts, one that is connected to all aspects of the mage. But like the mage, the relic is broken. When you repair it, it will recognize our other aspects and lead you to them. When we fell from the sky, the 3 gems that power the Seeker's Sight were lost. You will need to retrieve these gems to make use of the relic. Thank you. With the Seeker's Sight restored, we can locate our other aspects before the serpent takes control of them. When you finish mending the Seeker's Sight, meet us at the winery outside of Belkarth. We will wait for you there.
Will you say a prayer for those who have fallen behind the walls of Ranizah, the great school of blades? for the great sword disciples who have been reduced to mindless thralls. Rani Zah was once one of the great sword schools, rivaled only by the Abbey of Blades. But a betrayer gained entry through deception and trickery. He turned the mighty sword disciples into thralls of the dread celestial serpent. The initiates of Rani Zah proved their mastery by completing 5 increasingly arduous tests of strength and skill. I do not know how he did it, but the betrayer overcame the trials and killed Master Teeman. I'd only finished the first trial when the betrayer struck, but it stands to reason that he's in the most secure part of the school, the cavern at the end of the final trial. You'll need to complete the trials in order to avenge us. Ask what you will. The first trial is called the Trial of Fire. The initiate must find the tombs of the flame bearers and slay the gargoyles that guard them. Then, the flame bearers can light the braziers along the path to Rani Zah. The flame bearers are the spirits of 3 previous masters of the school. So devoted were they to training future sword disciples, they bound their spirits here. Even in death, they teach new initiates the ways of the blade. The second trial is the arena, where the initiate sword disciple must survive the melee. I was about to start this trial when the trouble struck. I don't know much about the other trials, but the initiates carried books that tell of them. The books are conferred on completion of the first trial. The school had gone to chaos and ruin before I received mine. Divines, if only I could have done something. I keep thinking that I know only the strange rumors I heard from the few initiates who had not yet turned by the time I entered. The betrayer was a member of the Scaled Court, a servant of the Celestial Serpent, who they say has appeared in Craglorn. So it's true? The Serpent does walk the face of Nirn? I can't begin to fathom the motivations of such a creature. But there's a legend that Rani Zah's founder, his name long lost to history, dedicated it to the warrior constellation. Perhaps, like the Abbey of Blades, Rani Zah is a place of secret arts, admitting only those brave enough and strong enough to gain entry. There are more myths than facts around it. Perhaps the Serpent simply wanted to eliminate potential opposition.
Who are you? How have you come to avenge us? You will find few allies here. Abelazar the Betrayer has turned all of the sword disciples into thralls. He would have turned me as well, if I had been less of a coward. When the Betrayer struck, the sword disciples held fast to their honor and took up their blades against him. For their efforts, they were turned into a mindless army. But I took the coward's way. I fell on my own blade rather than join Abelazar. He came among us as an initiate, seeking to master the trials and win the right to be called Sword Disciple. He was the best I'd ever seen. The way he moved with a blade, it was mesmerizing. But it was all a lie. His allegiance was to the Celestial Serpent, not to us. His mastery was deceptive magic, not skill. When he reached the end of the final trial, he murdered our master and used foul magic to turn the sword disciples into thralls. There are 5 trials. You've completed the first by entering this place. Then there's the trial of the arena, the trial of the air, and the trial of martial knowledge. Then there is the final trial, the trial of the true path. A test of stamina and pacing. The easiest of the 3, if you have good allies by your side. The Arena Master is a spirit who has dwelt in this place since its founding. He wasn't affected by all of this. He'll tell you all you need to know. I never completed the Trial of Air. The other initiates told me of a hidden path across the tops of the school's buildings. It can only be seen when special sands are thrown upon it. Where the path leads, I can't say. On entering Rani Zah, we were each given a book describing the trials. There's a place in the library for each of the books. As I understand it, Only those who managed to acquire a complete set could complete the trial of martial knowledge. The thralls are neither living nor dead. They answer only to the serpents.
I did not think any beating heart would ever undertake these trials again. And you say you have come to avenge us? I would help you if I could. If these arms were more flesh than spirit. If I could grip steel and strike at the betrayer. I was master of this school, its last as it came to pass. My blindness doomed us all. No one could have been as good as Abelazar appeared to be. I should have seen through his trickery. These trials were placed here centuries before us. The secrets of their workings are hidden even to the masters of the school. It was the Founder's will that the teachings of the school should last, even when there was no master left to oversee it. His name has been lost to history. By legend, he is Ranizah, the spirit of the blade, but no one knows who the man or woman was. Yet his legacy lives on in the trials, which function like clockwork, even now. After Abelazar murdered me, he cast a ritual on the sword disciples, turning them into thralls, neither living nor dead. I fear there is no hope of saving them, but you can give them rest by defeating Abelazar and destroying the one who sent him. The Celestial Serpent. Abelazar was a member of the Scaled Court, worshippers of the Serpent. They want only chaos for Tamriel. They saw the Sword Disciples as a threat to their plans, which is why they sent Abelazar into our midst to destroy us. Across Tamriel, there is a handful of schools devoted to the secret arts of the blade. Of those, the greatest are Ranizah and the Abbey of Blades. But there are others, secretive and hidden, that carry the tradition. Their locations are secret even to me. Each school has its own secret techniques to teach. The most dedicated blade master might spend a lifetime searching for each school. I have never heard of anyone mastering them all. A remarkable achievement, to see what is beyond seeing. A test of the Sword Disciples' faith. If only I had seen more clearly the snake that was among us. Abelazar bested the trial of air like it was nothing. Like he had been born a bird and had spent his whole life flying. We should have seen through him then. Yes. He reached the end of the final trial faster than any.
Test your knowledge of the art of the blade against me, if you would continue to the trial below. And may your faith guide your path.
The books were always intended to be about cooperation. You cannot truly learn to master the art of the blade without the help of others. Abelazar charmed us all and made us complicit in our own destruction.
Even now, there are those who dare to challenge me. Those who would set you free. Do not believe their lies. Theirs is a false freedom. The only true freedom lies in service to the Serpent. I am a servant of the Scaled Court, herald of the Celestial Serpent. This school belongs to him.
Will no longer stand for this corruption. The school will protect those true to its cause.
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
You have bested the trials and defeated Abelazar. You have earned the name of Sword Disciple. A name I never expected to confer on anyone ever again. You have also freed those souls that have been trapped under the Scaled Court. For that, I cannot thank you enough. I never dreamed that our Avenger would arrive so soon. Thank you for defeating the Betrayer. There's no saving the Sword Disciples, but at least their spirits may find rest. Peace, yes. I don't know if I'll ever be at peace with what happened here. Like everyone, I was so enamored of Abelazar I never imagined what was to come. That is for you to decide. The school has many hidden trials beyond those you've completed. And those too can be undertaken if you wish. As for the other Sword Disciples, they will not reach their final rest until the Serpent himself is defeated.
You stand before me, not wounded and defeated, but proud and courageous. You have overcome the trials, but what happened to the betrayer? At last. Although it does not end the suffering of my fellow sword disciples, at least the serpent's foul poison will spread no more. For my part, I will wait here until it is safe to enter, bury the dead, and see if I can carry on their legacy.
Another one, eh? Come to gawk at Titus the Mad? Well, I'm not insane, no matter what you may have heard. And I might be your only hope to defeat the Ankara. The Ankara, the cursed Yokudan army that has invaded Craglorn. They serve the Celestial Warrior, but their true master is their general, a man of unmatched cruelty named Tarash Z. I can help defeat him and the Ankara if you'll only listen. Call me Titus. It's a long story, but I'm familiar with Tarash Z and his army of Ankara. Centuries ago, they were part of the Ragada, the Yokudan invasion force that subdued and conquered Craglorn. But Tarash Z and his army were among the worst. Undead? Ha! These are no rotting Draugr or mindless skeletons. But it's true. They can't hardly be called living either. Untie these bonds and help me stop them. I'll tell you what I can when I'm free. It'd be an amusing story if the situation weren't so dire. An unseen force pulled me from my time into yours and dropped me in the midst of Dragonstar's grand melee, stark naked. I won, naturally. Then the soldiers arrested me, just as naturally. We're all from the past. I'm just from farther past. I can explain better what's going on if you free me and help me stop Tarish Z and the Ankara. And maybe find me some clothes as well? Thank you. You are a noble soul. Perhaps you'll actually believe my extraordinary tale when there is time to tell it. But first, meet me at the cave called Buried Sands. If my suspicions are correct, we'll find something we need there. Ah, that'll be sore tomorrow. Let's get away from here before we're seen. I'll try to grab some proper clothes and a weapon. Meet me at the cave known as Buried Sands. There's something I have to retrieve there. I'll explain more when you arrive. You made it. Good. There's an ancient burial chamber at the rear of this cave. That's where we need to go. The Ankara, the self-proclaimed Emperor Tarish Z's personal army. Each warrior pledged eternal loyalty to the Emperor.
Burn it!
The cursed form they wear is the mark of their servitude. Risen from beneath the sands, it can only mean that Tarish Z has returned as well. They are founded, you see. They rise to his call. Once he ruled these lands, he will seek to do so again. The Royal Guard gave up their lives when the Emperor died, each buried in separate hidden tombs. With them are the Royal Seals, the keys to the Royal Crypt. One such tomb is here. And if I'm right, one of the seals. Here it is, the entrance to the chamber. Follow me. This is it. The tomb I spoke of. My tomb. A resting place of great honor granted to me by Tarish Z himself. You see, I am not of this time. Centuries ago, I sought to end the reign of the self-proclaimed Emperor Tarish Z by working secretly from within his royal guard. The presence of this tomb means that I failed in my mission. Witness, my remains beside a royal seal. The seal is what we are seeking. It's one of the keys needed to enter Tarish Z's crypt. The last thing I remember before appearing in this time was the sound of a battle horn. Then I heard the voice of the one you call the Celestial Warrior. Tarish Z must have heard the same call. It is why we have appeared in this time. Ah, much better. There are 2 more seals to recover. 2 more tombs of the Royal Guard. The vanity of Tarish Z will serve us well. He had scribes record every conquest, every monument. They will have written about the burial places of all his retainers. In my time, a great library existed in a place called Ranizah. If it's still there, the information we need could be inside. Think on what I've told you. If you decide to believe my tale, meet me at the library. The tome should be here somewhere. Tarash Z would have wanted everyone to know of his glorious deeds. Wait, that's it! Let me see that! Riza and Tommen. I know you must be mentioned in here. Ah, here it is! Both were granted personal burial chambers near the falls to the north. I pray the entrances have not been buried. We should split up to save time. You find Riza and Tommen's tombs, and retrieve their royal seals. I'll go to Tarash Z's crypt and scout it out. We need to know what we're facing. When you have the seals, meet me at the crypt. With luck, we can catch Tarash Z unawares. Good luck. I'll see you soon.
I can't tell you how relieved I am to find you. I'm Ibrula, a friend of the Stargazers. I'm trying to gain entry to this temple, but the Celestial Warriors' army of Ankara have sealed the door. I need help to get past them and disable the seals.
I believe the temple holds the secret to ending the celestial threat. A vast library called the Seeker's Archive waits inside. I visited it before, looking for answers to impossible questions. But since the Ankara appeared, the way is sealed. The temple door can be opened by activating beams in the surrounding ruins. We need to find the source of the beams and activate them to open the door. But we must be careful, as powerful Ankara surely guard these locations. We must find a way to defeat the Ankara and activate the beams that open the temple door. I can't promise that That is one of the questions I hoped to answer within. They appear to be neither living nor dead, but not exactly undead either. Cursed. It's said that the Celestial Warrior controls them, but I sense that's only part of the story. This temple is a good example. The Ankara crawled out of the ground all around it and started guarding it as if, well, as if they were just picking up where they left off when they died. I believe they are deeply connected to Craglorn somehow. The Seeker's Archive is another of Craglorn's many mysteries. An astonishing library, left mostly untouched for centuries, built by unknown hands. The temple atop the library is Yokuden in origin, but some of the books predate even the Yokudens. Call it chance or fate. I was once a stargazer, searching the stars for signs and prophecies. Little did I realize that the knowledge I sought was not in the sky above, but in the ground below.
seal activated one of the beams. We should find the other seals. Now that we're inside the temple, there's something I must tell you. The Seeker's Archive holds vast reserves of secret knowledge, but I didn't tell you the reason for this. The Seeker's Archive is no ordinary library. It's actually a shrine to Hermaeus Mora, the Daedric Lord of Knowledge. Yes, it was built centuries ago, long before the Yokudans came to Hammerfell. I've been visiting the shrine for several years now, offering relics to Hermaeus Mora in exchange for secret knowledge. I'm sorry, but I wasn't sure you would help me if you knew. Not everyone has an open mind where Daedric princes are concerned. But I do seek knowledge to defeat the Celestials. That much is true. I believe Hermaeus Mora can provide that knowledge. The followers of Hermaeus Mora who worshipped here were called Seekers. The Seekers brought gifts to the shrine, and the Daedric prince rewarded them with secret knowledge. I carry a relic from the Dragontail Mountains for just such a purpose. I do what I must. Hermaeus Mora is not like other Daedra. He may seem cruel at times, but he's not irrational. He's only interested in knowledge. If bringing him gifts will save Craglorn from the Celestials, then so be it. The Lord of Knowledge, the Prince of Secrets. We're nearly there. Prince of Fate, Lord of Secrets. Your Seeker, Ibrula, has returned to you.
Approach me, Seeker.
Your offering, my lord. A relic from the Dragontail Mountains, covered in runes of an unknown language.
Your gift is accepted. Tell your companions to approach me.
Hermaeus Mora wants to speak with you. Approach his statue.
I am the answer to all questions, and the question behind every answer. No need to introduce yourself. Your name is already recorded in my realm of Apocrypha. I know everything. You have come to my shrine because the stars have fallen to Tamriel. You want to know how to defeat them. I can. But knowledge must never be given freely. A price must be paid. Part of the cost was bringing my servant Ibrula back to me. But you will pay much more if you want to learn all that I know about the Celestials. Then listen closely, as I will not repeat myself. The Celestial Warriors' army of Ankara was created centuries ago by the Yokudan General Tarish Z. He came to me to learn how to bind his army to him, even in death. I granted his wish. His offering pleased me. He built the temple above this shrine and promised that his army would defend it. The Ankara have arisen, which means Tarish Z has risen as well. They are bound to him. To defeat them, you must defeat him. All I have told you is all you have earned. If you wish to know more, you must become my eyes and ears in Craglorn. You must bring me fresh knowledge to feast upon. I hunger for lost bits of lore. I thirst for new knowledge to add to my coffers. Bring your offerings to me. If I find them acceptable, I will return their worth in the knowledge you seek.
I am sorry for the deception. I was uncomfortable dealing with the Daedric Prince. And I admit it. I was afraid. I have since embraced my role. Hermaeus Mora's curiosity is insatiable, but his knowledge reaches beyond mortal understanding. I will continue my quest to find relics for my master and acquire the knowledge to defeat the Celestials.
Ah, you made it. Good. And with the seals too, I see. Then we're ready to proceed. The ward is magical in nature. As long as we have the 3 seals within its vicinity, the door should freely open to us. Follow me, but stay alert. Did you think you could escape this fate, false Emperor? Even across the eons, I will find you. And my blade is as sharp as ever. Praise Akatosh! Fast forward together. We all heard the call to battle. Oblivion take you, false Emperor.
Didn't they?
Belkarth is as good a place as any to take respite after our victory. I'm sure you have more questions for me. Find me there if you wish to speak. And well fought.
Listen closely. You were right to help Titus. Had Tarish Z been able to gather his forces, there would have been nothing you could do to stop them. Each Celestial possesses an unusual gift. The warrior's gift is to call heroes across time. It seems the serpent perverted the warrior's gift, using it to awaken the villainous Tarash Z and his cursed army, the Ankara. My guess is that as one of Tarash Z's royal guard, he was summoned at the same time as the others, yet he was unaffected by the serpent's manipulations. Perhaps because he was never truly loyal to Tarash Z. See that Titus makes it to Belkarth. The Stargazers will give him refuge. I feel he may still have a part to play in our struggle. Continue to work with Hara of the Stargazers. I will reach out to you again when it is safe to do so.
Taking the chasm was necessary, but by the soul of Tuwaka, I would prefer never to have to fight over ground like that again. It's about time. We sent a runner to Belkarth days ago. Wait, you're not the reinforcements we requested, are you? Damn it! A few days ago, our research team was sent to excavate this ruined city. But things turned bad quickly. The water inside is cursed. Half the researchers are insane or dead. We sent a runner for reinforcements, but I guess he didn't make it. All I know is that anyone who drinks the water gets strong, really strong, and then attacks anything that moves. Our leader, Salima, is inside, looking for a way to end the curse and save our researchers. If you want to help, talk to him. Talk to Selima. Half of our...
You must be from outside. I'm glad to see someone's noticed us. A word of advice, though. Don't drink the water in here. Don't even touch it. You heard right. The first researchers to drink the water said it tasted like nothing they ever drank. Made them feel strong, alive. And then they started changing. They attacked us. Like we were intruders and they were defending the city. Well, that's where things get truly strange. Seems that this place was built by Needs, the ancient people who settled Craglorn before the Yakudans. We don't know a lot about the Needs, but it seems like these particular ones worshipped Nereids. It fits their reputation. Nereids are known for practicing a dark and twisted sorcery to control people's minds. Drinking the water appears to turn you into a thrall of a Nereid called Shada. And see that pool? The water flows into it from the temple wings on either side, and blocks the way to the main chamber. My guess is if you follow the water into those wings, you'll find the source of the corruption. A Nereid, if I'm right. We can't reach the main chamber while the pool is corrupted. We need to find the Nereids corrupting the water in the other wings first. As for what's in the main chamber, I'm guessing it's the leader of the Nereids. Shada, as her thralls call her.
Shada's tear is eternally cursed, and I thought I heard the telltale sounds of the living outside these doors. Be warned, the once refreshing waters of this place run rancid with an unholy magic. A curse that grants great strength and unnatural long life. But for a price. Those who drink the waters become unstoppable, it's true. And then their flesh withers along with their minds, and they become thralls to the one called Shada, the Nereid sorceress who first blessed the waters. You may call me Nolan. I was a priest of the cult of the stars in this city when it came under attack by Yakudans from across the sea. It was then that we made our unholy bargain. We forsook the stars and pledged ourselves to the Nereids, to Shada. I protested against the bargain. I did not trust the salvation Shada promised. For my troubles, Shada cursed me twice. I was forced to drink the water, but to remain conscious, watching as my people slowly went mad under Shada's influence. I have thought long on whether and how the effects of the curse can be reversed. For those whose flesh has rotted, there is no cure. But for those still in the early stages, I believe I have an answer. But I require something in return. My own freedom. When I spoke out against this unholy bargain, my soul was bound to that of Salek, the general who gave our people over to the Nereids. To free me, you must defeat him, but be careful. He has sealed the way with a cloud of poison. This place is haunted by visions of the past, my own memories of the events leading up to this curse. Watch the visions to learn our fate. They will show the way to disperse the cloud of poison and reach Salek.
You must defend the crypts at all costs. The Yokudans must not make it through here until the ritual is complete. Once Shada blesses us, no power in the world will stop us. Nalan, you speak of treason. Do you want the Yokudans to come here, pillage everything we built, murder us all? Do you want that?
Better a quick death the Yokudans steal than a lifetime as slaves to those creatures. We should call on the stars for protection, which our ancestors did, and have nothing to do with these Nereids and their sorcery.
I've heard enough. Take him to Shada.
Help! I'm scared too.
Roll! Roll if you can!
This barrier should keep the Yakudans out while we finalize the ritual with Shada. The sacrifice you make by staying behind to guard it is appreciated, Mafia.
Don't thank me. Thank those who offered themselves for my experiments. The creature they gave life to will protect this barrier for eternity.
See that it does. That creature's magic keeps this barrier held in place. It is the only thing that can keep the Yokudans out.
We give our flesh, our minds, and our souls to protect this city and its people against the invader. So, as long as this creation of our bodies stands, so too will the ward that protects these crypts. May I meet you in the stars, my brothers and sisters. None shall get past our creation.
for us.
That flesh abomination killed thousands of Yokudans as they assaulted this place. That you took it down so easily. Could Zalek's magic be weakening? In any case, the cloud of poison has begun to move. Zalek was a smart man, and he went to great lengths to prevent the city from falling to the Yokudans. He would not have let his work be undone so easily. Wait for the barrier to move, and follow closely behind. When an opening appears, do not hesitate. When Shada cursed me, she bound me to Zalek's soul. She trusted. It's been a long time. I may not remember as well as I should. But I don't remember much of the invasion itself. It failed because of Zalek's gambit. Our army proved too strong for the Yokudans. As to what happened to them, I don't know. I suppose they gave up in search of an easier target. Our city was once the great jewel of the desert. A city of cool, crisp, refreshing waters in a sea of sand. It would have been of great strategic value to the Yokudans had they taken it. I always thought Shada's Tear was an ugly name for a city. It was adopted when the people first started worshipping the Nereids. I'm partial to the city's name of old. The city of shimmering water in the desert. A mouthful, yes, but so poetic. No, they did not. Once the needs of the city worshipped the stars. But water was our city's lifeblood, and that is the Nereid's domain. Why plead with distant stars when you have powerful sorceresses in your very midst? Of an old and fading religion, the cult of the stars. Once, needs across these lands worship the stars. By the time the Yokudans came, we were a fragmented people. Some turned to the elven gods, others to Daedra. My people turned to the Nereids. Yes, we believed that the stars themselves were little windows that let the light of Aetherius into our world. But even in my day, it was a dying faith. Our people seemed destined to be conquered by invaders while the stars watched.
With this binding, our pact is sealed. Are you ready to pledge your lives to me and receive in return the strength to drive the invaders from your doors?
I will not permit our people to be slaughtered in their very homes. Do with us what you will, and grant us victory this day.
Then I take your soul, and the souls of all those present, to seal this oath. So long as these phylacteries lie undisturbed, our oath will remain unbroken, and your soul will be at rest.
You cannot stop me. I saved our people!
You have done what the Yokudans could not. You have slain Zalek. You have given me my freedom. And yet, forgive me if I feel no joy. Zalek was a brave man. He only wanted to save his people. Even so, I have no right to gloat. If Zalek had taken my counsel, our people would have been slaughtered by the Yokudans. Indeed I did. I have recorded all of my centuries of learning here in this book. I believe that finally, this life is over.
Give yourself to Shada. It's useless to resist. The waves of the Nereids will carry you away. The water will not fly unless you resist it. The waters must remain blessed. Shada wills it.
So, you're saying the water just cleared up on its own?
You said wandering adventurers from the surface came down here. What did you send them to do, Selima?
I wondered if some of the corruption originated from the wings on either side. I merely asked them to investigate.
It looks like it worked. Maybe we'll actually find something now.
I don't know how you did it, but this water's as clear as the desert sky. I'm not going to drink any of it, mind you, but it seems safe to touch. As I thought, The Nereids are behind the corruption. I've deciphered more writings on the leader of these Nereids. Shada, she's called. It says she blessed the water so that the people of the city could fend off invaders. It says the people of the city worshipped her in a temple that was once dedicated to the stars. There's a third wing across the way. I know it's a lot to ask, but this water can't be allowed to leave here while it remains cursed. Feels foolish, asking you to risk your life when all I have to offer is a thank you. But you have to understand how much this means to us, and to Craglorn.
Murderer! Slaughterer of innocents! These people are under my protection. I alone gave them hope. I alone gave them a future. Leave now, and I will spare you. Enter, and
Mom
your
and Dad did their
fate will
best.
be the same as the Yakudans before you.
Hope we find something interesting.
Your resistance ends here. I will bend you to my will. Make you commander of my armies. Not even the Celestials will stand against us. Off with you, Swift! Maidens, give me your power and protection! You are no match for the ancient magic of my most powerful servant. Your resistance ends here. I will bend you to my will. Make you commander of my armies. Not even the Celestials will stand against us. Maidens, give me your power and protection! You are no match for the ancient magic of my most powerful servant. You are no match for the ancient magic of my most powerful servant. No, I will not be defeated. I will devour you.
Can you believe it? These people, our people who drank the water, are starting to return. They seem to be in their right minds again. What mad sorcery. Better that she's gone and the water cleansed. Thank you for this. Maybe this will give us a chance to do proper research and find out what really happened to this city. Shada is dead. The waters are safe and so refreshing. Hurry, gather the injured for treatment. And let's not forget the ones we've lost.
The ruins of Kardala. Tread carefully. The ancient wards protecting this place may still be active. The warrior's apex stone lies within. It is crucial that you reach it. I feel the eyes of the serpent searching for us both.
Blood!
The apex stone waits beyond this door. The warrior's charges will guide your way. At last, the warrior's apex stone stands before us. I sense the serpent's power in this place. I must flee before I am ensnared as well. The Sky Stone amulet is charged with the ethereal power of the Lord, the Lady, and the Steed. Use it to cleanse the apex stone of the serpent's corruption.
Great warrior, I am your strength. Forsake this madness and return to health.
Great warrior, I am your mercy. Forsake this madness and remember peace.
Great warrior, I am your swiftness. Forsake this madness and ride against our enemy.
You have purged my venom from the apex stone. Clever. Too clever for a mortal. She helped you, didn't she? I can smell her fear upon you. No matter. I will find her and consume her in time, just as I have her fellow guardians. Do not think you have succeeded here. The damage remains. The warrior has fallen from the sky and is trapped in mortal form. He is mine.